So I'm 64 and will become an official senior, 65, in about a half a year. This hit me hard a month or so ago, and that number, if I'm honest, it felt a bit heavy. Heavier than the candles. Then a friend told me about this book, Peter Attia's Outlive, The Science and Art of Longevity, and said, read this. So because I'm all about anti-aging and living my best possible and longest life and healthiest life, I did. And it completely shattered every story I was telling myself about getting old. This is not another eat less, move more book. No, this is a manual, a field manual for hacking your own biology. So in the next few minutes, I'm giving you the cheat sheet, the one I wish someone gave me at 30. We're going to cover the one huge myth that is making us all sick, the 4 diseases that will wreck your life, and the 5 things you can do today to get out of the trap. Quick warning, this might feel like a slap in the face, but it's the kind that wakes you up. Here's the brutal truth, the thing your doctor never says at your annual physical. By the time a standard test finds a problem, you are already a decade late. A decade. Our current medical system, let's call it Medicine 2.0, is incredible at saving you when you're already crashing, but it is totally blind to the slow-moving train wreck happening in your 30s and 40s. These aren't big, loud emergencies. They're tiny leaks you ignore saying, I'm just getting older. Attia calls these leaks the 4 horsemen. Heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and type 2 diabetes. And yeah, that sounds scary because it is, but they are the reason for 80% of all hospital bills. The reason for 99% of our fear about getting old. Look, I don't want to live to be 100 if the last 20 years are just going to be a fog of prescriptions and nursing homes. I want to be 85 and still be able to go for a run or a hike in the park and travel to destinations all over the world. You know how I love to travel. Outlive says that's not a fantasy, it's a skill and you can train for it. Let me show you how. Section 1, the myth of waiting. The whole system sold us on this idea that prevention is a colonoscopy at 50, a stress test at 65, and that works. It works perfectly if your goal is just to find out how sick you already are. Attia calls this Medicine 2.0, a system for statistics, not for individuals. It waits for you to have a symptom, then it attacks that symptom with drugs. And yeah, people are living longer, but are they living better? Medicine 3.0 flips the whole script. You measure early, you act early, you make it personal. It's all about getting ahead of the problem before it's a problem. But here's the catch. No one gives you the playbook. You have to build it. I went into this book thinking I'd get food pyramids and step counters. Wrong. I walked out and immediately ordered my own test labs. Tests for things like APOB, fasting insulin, HbA1c, stuff my doctor never ever mentioned. If you get just one thing from this video, get this. The earlier you get the data, the smaller the bullet you have to dodge. Now this is about foresight, not damage control. I only wish I read this book a long time ago. Section 2, the 4 horsemen in plain English. Don't think of these as diseases, think of them as kidnappers in slow motion. Heart disease isn't the heart attack itself, it's the 40-year fire burning inside your arteries until one day, boom, and the paramedics are standing there saying, you seem so healthy. Cancer isn't the lump, it's the 10 years your immune system was playing a losing game of hide and seek. Brain disease, that doesn't start when you forget your own address. It starts when you're 35 and you blank out on your neighbor's name. And type 2 diabetes, that's just the tax you pay for every single ultra-processed, unhealthy meal that spikes your insulin. Attia's point is simple. Fight these things a decade before they ever show up on a scan. You won't just live longer. Your quality of life will improve greatly. Section 3, lever 1. Exercise is the only poly pill. If this book was a building, exercise would be the foundation, the concrete slab it all sits on, but not that 30-minute of walking stuff. No. Attia wants 3 things: aerobic efficiency, peak aerobic power, and strength. Here's what that means. Zone 2 cardio, VO2 max intervals, and lifting heavy stuff. Zone 2 is that pace where you can talk, but just barely. Do that for 2 hours a week. It cleans out your system. VO2 max is the total opposite. All out 30-second sprints where you feel like your lungs are about to explode. 10 minutes a week of that can boost your survival rate like crazy. This isn't about running a marathon, it's about having an engine that won't quit. And then strength. Here's the test. Can you dead hang from a bar for 90 seconds? Can you do a farmer's carry for half your body weight for 1 minute? Can you squat your own body weight 10 times? If the answer is no, you are already losing the fight against gravity. This isn't about vanity, it's about independence. Now this is what Attia states to do in the book, but I would also add that you should have a talk with your doctor before going crazy on new workouts. I'm not a doctor. Just make sure you are safe. And I started this in my 60s. He's talking about people in their 30s, 40s. So be smart about a new program, start small and increase gradually. But let's start today. Section 4, Lever 2. Eat for the blood you want, not the taste you crave. Forget the diet wars, keto, vegan, although I am vegan and that does work for me. Paleo, Attia doesn't care. He cares about 3 numbers. Fasting insulin under 10, HbA1c under 5.2, and ApoB under 60. That last one, ApoB, he calls the portion of the predictors. It counts every single particle that can clog up an artery. And here's the kicker. You could be super fit, eating clean, and still have a terrible ApoB number because of your genetics. That was me. I cut my saturated fat, went vegan, and my number dropped. As you get older, protein is everything. It's the defense against muscle loss. The rule I stole is simple. 1/3 of your plate is lean protein, 1/3 is vegetables, 1/3 is healthy fat, and 0 liquid sugar. Except, maybe bourbon. Stress relief is important too. Section 5, Lever 3. Sleep or kiss your hippocampus goodbye. We all love to brag. I only got 4 hours of sleep and that's all I need. But your brain, it doesn't care. It doesn't negotiate. Just one night of 4 hours sleep creates a 30% spike in the junk that causes Alzheimer's. 30%. So here are the rules, the non-negotiables. 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep a night, a consistent bedtime, a cold room like 65 degrees, and you stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed. I track all this with the Oura Ring. If my sleep score is bad, my junk food cravings the next day go through the roof. The single best drug for longevity is free, but you have to treat it like a job. You have to have a bedtime. Anti-ager Brian Johnson also swears by this. Become a sleep pro and see great results. Section 6, Lever 4. Emotional health isn't soft, it's survival. Being stressed out all the time keeps your cortisol high. That keeps your glucose high. That makes you fat, tired, and inflamed. Attia gets real in the book about his own burnout, about physician suicide rates. It's a reminder that your mind can break you faster than your body. The fix is not a bubble bath. The fix is building a life that is bigger than your job. For me, that meant creating my YouTube channel and making new friends in a brand new city, New York City specifically. I made a rule. If I haven't laughed with a person this week, I'm texting someone and setting up an event. Outlive says men die from loneliness more than they die from bacon. And the data is right there. Having strong friendships lowers your risk of dying by 45%. To put all that in perspective, that's the same as quitting smoking. Section 7, Lever 5, the Centenarian Decathlon. Okay, picture yourself at 100 years old. What are your 10 physical things you still want to be able to do? That's your Centenarian Decathlon. My list, hike 5 miles, carry 2 heavy bags of groceries up 3 flights of stairs. Keep traveling and exploring the world. The whole point is to train for that list, like an athlete. Every single workout, ask yourself, is this making the list easier? If the answer is no, do something else. I reduced my running to just 3 miles, never over, because I don't want my knees and hips destroyed when I'm hiking or exploring the world. Your list will be different. Maybe it's kayaking, maybe it's gardening. Write it down, put it on your fridge. Working out without a finish line is just sweating. If this all feels like too much, just start with the decathlon list. write it down, then drop a comment below and tell me the one thing you refuse to give up. I'll reply with a single best exercise to train for it, and I'll pin the best list to inspire everyone else. And while you're down there, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. I'm dropping new videos every week. Section 8, putting it all together, my 90-day sprint. So I turned all this into a project, a 90-day sprint. 1 month was just tracking, all of it, sleep, steps, workout, food, all the data. Month 2, I attacked the worst number. For me, it was my sleep patterns. So I started eating dinner earlier so my heart rate would drop and get me ready for sleep. Month 3, I added VO2 max intervals and therapy. The result, I'm feeling great. The cool thing is better sleep meant less snacking, which meant better glucose, which meant no 3 p.m. crash. You don't have to be perfect, you just need momentum. Outlive isn't just a book, it's a permission slip. A permission slip to stop accepting that you're just going to fall apart. The book was a mirror and a map. The mirror showed me a guy who was letting a broken system decide his future. The map showed me the exit ramp. But you have to pay the toll, and the toll is what you do every single day. So just start with one thing. Track your sleep. Test your APOB. Write down your decathlon list. Let the data be your motivation, because here's the real truth. The 80 to 90-year-old version of you is being built right now with every choice you make. So what's it going to be? The old way and hope for the best, or the new way and build your future that you want? I know my answer. Life is getting easier every single week. If you want to get the book, you can get it at your local bookstore or the link in the description. If this video opened your eyes, if it made you think, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. And to continue your healthy living journey, 2 videos will pop up and you can click on either of them. Until then, keep living your best life. You got this. See you next time.